Race to the end of the road. On your mark, set, go. What are you doing? Leslie! Leslie! You're not gonna believe this. Wow.
And just like that, we're right back. Asa, why don't you tell the folks at home what your third and final pick is?
I know. My third and final pick of this incredible series is right, is Bridge to Terabithia,
And
the seminal classic.
okay, big words. Bridge to Terabithia was a movie that I watched as a kid and
Yeah.
do remember enjoying as a kid and haven't thought about since.
Well, that's where we differ. Thought about it every single day since I
So
saw it.
what's your Bridge to Terabithia relationship? What's your relationship with the Terabithians?
Personally, I consider myself the queen. No, Terabithians are a species, so anyway.
Oh, sorry, it's your culture, not my costume.
I should get into that. No, so my relationship with Bridge to Terabithia. So I hadn't read the book when I went to see it, but I knew, spoiler, that she died.
Ah,
And I knew she died on a swing. So every time she got on that bloody rope, I was like, well, this is it. And if I watch it now, I'd be like, well, obviously this is a children's film. They are not going to show this child dying on screen.
could have. They should have had a nightmare
Different
sequence where where he watches her go down the river. It's like, Leslie!
Leslie! She's going to hell!
I can't help anybody. Yeah, she's going to hell.
Anyway, so I went to see it at the cinema, loved it. My mum loved it, watched it many, many times. I cry every single time, very much. I watched it last week with Brian. We both cried. And I've read the book, loved the book.
At what part do you cry? Is it a specific moment or?
Several. I think it starts, let me think. Well, when he gets home and they're like, your friend Leslie is dead.
Your friend Leslie is dead.
Your friend Leslie is dead. And he's like, no, you're lying. Start crying. Continue crying when he goes around the house. We'll get into the timeline of that a bit later because I think it's confusing. And sees the dad. Cry then. Cry when the teacher's like, my husband died. As hard as it is for me, how much harder it must be for you. Yeah. Crying.
Do you cry when the
over?
Yeah. Do you cry when the bully troll comes and sits next to him?
No, don't cry that bit. No, that's a happy moment.
She's been done dirty. Right. The film was directed by Nickelodeon's Rugrats co-creator and former Hanna-Barbera Gabor Kustapor, who has directed, from what I can find, 2 movies. The other one being a movie that I have not seen, know very little of, but looks very akin to this, which is called The Secret of Moonacre.
Oh yeah, I love that film.
Okay.
I've seen that. Very cute film. Very, similar ilk. You know, imagination. But actually, in that, the magic is real.
Is the magic not real in this?
The magic of imagination.
Yeah, which we'll get into. Um,
Okay.
yeah, no, I think it's a very good children's movie, and it's solid. Um, I would not I would not say that watching it this morning I had any great enjoyment of the film.
Well, heartless, lacking in imagination.
I did
You
find,
didn't
to be
enjoy it
honest,
at all?
no, I mean, I'm a terrible person. My interest in it as a piece of well, not enjoyment, but seriously got more excited when she died. And I was like, the scenes just got better, the acting got better.
What? No, that's not untrue. Oh, you don't think she's good in it?
No, no, I wasn't saying that. I just mean that
This
as a
child is rubbish.
I just mean as a 24-year-old man on his exercise bike watching a downloaded copy of Bridge to
Well, that's
Terabithia.
odd.
I know. There was a part of me that was like, when they were talking about grenades and squirrels and squarks, there was a part of me that was thinking, yeah, I'm kind of past this, which I knew already.
I think I've moved on from this point in my life.
Well, no, but think about it. You watched it with Rian nostalgically. I
Yeah,
watched
which
it
is how I
alone.
generally watch it.
Yeah, I watched it
Well, not
alone.
my fault that you weren't invited to our sleepover.
That is true. Um, I think it's a fine film, and it will be. I think I'll show my kid this.
On your exercise bike.
Daddy's on his exercise bike.
Guys, back, you gotta watch Bridge to Terabithia. Daddy only
uh,
watches children's films when he's on the bike.
and it's on my exercise bike. I tried to get a DVD, but I couldn't get one in time.
Okay.
And in a way, I'm kind of glad I didn't have to go up to a counter and say British Terabithia.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, no, I feel like there is more sympathy for like, you know, me watching it nostalgically than a grown man alone.
all the same, it was a fine on his exercise bike. Um, every part of that, every piece of information gets worse. Um, the opening, the my 10-minute stretch nominees are the rope swing the first time and heading into the magical land of wind and squirrels and trees.
Right, yeah.
The keys business. I think Robert Patrick's genuinely excellent in this film and is very, very good.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
No, he is
very good.
good.
I think I'm too boring and old. I need my things to have rules, and there are no rules. How are they all
'Cause it's
seeing the
about
same thing?
imagination.
I know, but where were the keys actually?
How do you know they're saying the same thing?
Where were the keys?
In the car.
So the big troll that looks like Janice.
Yeah.
Hi, here are your
He drew a
keys.
picture of her.
Here are your keys. Bye.
Hey.
Hey.
Janice is being also me and Maria to talk about this. Like this girl's being abused.
Yeah,
They were like
she has
that troll.
yeah. If anybody has been done dirty by this movie, it's her.
It's Janice.
All I'm saying is, no, I'll bring this up later.
Right.
Can't start on this.
Okay. Have you got any other 10-minute stretches?
Oh yeah, Dead Leslie. I mean, it's a 30-minute stretch, but
It's good.
Dead Leslie.
The last half hour of the film is probably the best.
Well, I think let's get this out of the way now so that we can talk about and start making fun of it a bit more openly. But like, Catherine Patterson wrote her novel in 1977 as a way of helping her 8-year-old son recover from a traumatic incident where his best friend was struck by lightning and killed. Why are you laughing?
That is funny.
Her son
Not
David.
that happened is funny.
Yeah.
That's like what it's about.
Her son David Patterson grew up to become the film's producer. Wow.
That's sweet.
Yeah. And apparently he struggled writing and working on the film
I'm
because
sure.
of yeah. Do you think there was a draft where
She didn't die.
No, where they kept the lightning.
The lightning? What
How his
lightning?
real friend died.
Oh, your friend Leslie got struck by lightning. She's dead.
It's all my fault.
Imagine like this whole like motif of the rope, and then he's like, "What?" Like she's dead. She got struck by lightning. Nowhere near Terabithia. She was in
Yeah.
that dodgy tree house that you built. She fell out. It's your fault.
Maybe they, yeah. Maybe, well, this is the thing, isn't it? I mean, we talk about are they all seeing the same thing or anything like that? You're catching. I'm jumping the gun, but Janice the troll monster catching him. What actually happened? What happened in reality?
Well, he just landed on a bush or something.
It landed on a bush and then went, I'm being
Well,
picked
it
up
wasn't
by
as
a
dramatic as
troll.
it felt. Like maybe he didn't fall out of the treehouse.
There's an
You just
alternate world where
stacked it,
Leslie,
like-
yeah, where Leslie gets the call.
There's
Broke.
an alternative world where they're on LSD.
Well, I've got all this later. This is one of those movies where my changes and questions outweigh the rest.
Right. Can I do my 10-minute stretch?
Yes, you can.
The first 10 minutes of the film. These
What,
golf shoes.
with the
They
Princess
make me
Diana, with the Princess Diana at the race, at the parents' race.
Look, I think what you're missing is that this film is like, you know. So I said this to her and she was like, that's not true. I was like, this is like the aftermath of the Great Depression. Like they're living in this poor community.
Sorry, what?
It's not true. But like, you know, we studied America. We studied the poor.
We did.
This is a
Of course.
family.
This movie
thing.
came out in 2007 and the recession was in 2008. So,
The same recession. I said the Great Depression.
oh, of course. So in your head, this movie's set in 1923.
No, like the long-term effect.
Very long term.
Basically,
90 years
sequel
long term.
to the Grapes of Wrath.
We can get Cherry Jones in this.
So yeah. Yeah, I don't actually know how that. I just think the opening is cute. Like, you know, he goes for his little run, he comes home, you see like their domestic life. I think it, you know.
Robert Patrick really pulls back
He
quickly
isn't
on.
good
He's like, apparently Robert Patrick is only learns in that moment that they don't have enough money. He needs new shoes. We don't.
Money.
We don't have any money.
It's not the only time. There's the other bit where he's like, it's going to cost me £700 or $700 to get these keys fixed.
And to be honest with you, bad
Going to the
child.
locksmith.
Also, he's a bad child. You know.
It's not a bad what?
Why does he lose the keys? Because he sucks.
He doesn't. His sister takes them.
Maybelle.
Maybelle.
She is
Do
delightful.
you think it's harrowing when he has to see their relationship? Like how close the dad and her are, and he's just like alone in the world, and then his only friend dies.
What? So you're saying that's why he pushes Maybelle over?
Justified.
This is our place. She's
It's our place.
She's dead.
Right. Wow.
Tom's weirdly specific favorite parts of the film. I've got a few from the beginning. I try to keep my stops under 10 seconds. Ace.
Seconds, Ace.
Also, I love
Cut to. Sorry about your friend, Ace.
Yeah, sorry about your friend. It just calls everybody Ace. Okay, cool. Sorry about your friend Ace, but
I did say 10 seconds.
Yeah, I did say 10 seconds, my guy.
And she's gone now, so I can't
Yeah,
do
so,
20.
You know, and the kid doesn't
Wrap
count.
this up.
Yeah,
that little sister of yours.
I don't like bad bullying. So like, you know, beep, 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 beep. That's my loser detector.
Yeah, okay.
And considering a free lunch program, farm boy.
No, that is funny.
And this is the person that we're supposed to eventually root for to feel bad
She's been
about
used.
the troll lady.
Okay.
Somebody we haven't talked about yet. Leslie calling out Josh on his crush. Take a picture to last longer. We could spend, and we will, a long time on the relationship between Zoe Deschanel and what's his name? Josh Hutcherson?
Will you phone me off now? What is his name? He didn't say it very much.
Sam?
No! Oh my God!
Jess.
Yes! Yeah, I did know that. You just confused. You threw me off. Too many tangents.
And yeah, we watch TV every day. I risk my case. No, I think
That's
she does.
funny.
It is funny. I put it down in Tom's wheel as specific favorite parts.
Okay. Bubbles. In his eye.
Yeah, quite on the nose. I mean,
Yeah, well, his imagination hasn't developed yet.
Reading a poem about going underwater, Leslie.
I like the bit where she's like, I chose this essay because it has character. And it was clear that they were picturing what they were doing. And that girl's there like, this is my fucking essay. And that bitch. And then it's Leslie's. I like that bit.
They never turn her into like a pig monster or something in their little world, which I expected. It's like, look over there. It's
know-it-all pig.
Yeah, it's little bitch from English Pig, you know. They're really horrible kids.
I like the painting scene.
Oh no, I've got the painting. All right,
the paint job looks awful.
That's one of the worst paint jobs I've ever seen in my entire life.
I want to see, but that's an artist's hand. Am I right?
Yeah. Look at that.
Steady hand, Jeff.
And he's just going. He's just like
he's
flopping around.
Like.
I know.
Actually doing it properly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, and everyone else is just like.
Isn't it fun painting? My daughter's still alive and we're having fun. They seem to be an awful family.
The worst neighbors.
Yeah. They're doing another painting party. Also, that color of gold? You want a room that color?
No, I like that gold. It suits their vibe. They're going to sit there on their typewriters.
I bet they do use typewriters as well.
They finished their book.
Yeah.
I will say, the bit where he's like to her, well, that explains you then, because, your parents are writers and you make stuff up. And she's like, you know a lot about hardware? And it's like, yeah, I just built this fucking tree house, mate.
Yeah. I mean,
I do actually know a lot about hardware.
We can talk about his DIY capabilities later, and the trust of those parents. But I want to see.
We take some stuff.
Yeah, I want to see the sequel where it's those parents fighting to see who can write the better book about the death of Leslie.
Right. Well, the sequel that Brian and I discussed was Jess going to art college and just being depressed.
Yeah. Or clinically ill.
Clinically ill. He's like, yeah, so my best friend died and, I painted a picture of her. So now all I paint is her.
Yeah. I was taken under the wing of what could possibly be a genuinely bipolar young woman who told me to believe in trees.
The first time I went to a museum, it was with my teacher. No, it wasn't a trip. It was just me and her on a Saturday.
No. I want to break this down, the whole thing.
So my nephew that I've never mentioned is sick.
Yeah, my nephews are sick. You want to come?
I know it's 6 a.m., but
my sister.
Did you ask your mom?
Yeah. My sister flunked on me, so I've got a freebie.
Is this your first time in a museum?
Yeah. Oh.
Mind like yours?
Yeah.
You could create a whole new world.
You could create a whole new world. I mean, it is quite literally a scene that could be just lifted and dropped into a
At the
grooming drama.
start of like a group,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just no
And then
changes.
he wakes up from the nightmare
Yeah.
and he's 24 at art college.
Yeah. Zoe Deschanel's been arrested on charges. And
So Deschanel's back.
yeah. Oh, I mean,
He lost one woman. And then my best friend died.
Yeah. He's sexually fucked up for the rest of his life, romantically and otherwise. Oh, the trees.
My dad didn't really like me, so
Yeah, the trolls. He also can't walk because he's been forced to wear shoes the wrong size and designed for women for years.
yeah,
So
he's confused about who he is.
Jess and Jessie. I mean, it writes itself. I mean, this.
I think this is what we need to produce.
The bridge past Terabithia.
The bridge back from Terabithia.
I mean, I want to talk about the ending later, but
Okay.
best. So what are your weirdly specific favorite parts? You've touched on a few already, but
Yeah, no. Oh, let me think. I do like the bit where the teacher talks to him. I think it's cute.
yeah, that's
Yeah. I think Josh Hutcherson, just his facial expressions. I think he's good in this.
I think he's good. No, I think
he's really good. He emotes very well for like, a child.
Yeah.
So all his little bits. What else? I think it's really sad when like the dad comes in and says goodnight to the sister.
Yeah.
And he's like, lights out. Sad. Come on, Jess. Turn the light off. Electricity bill.
Yeah.
We're poor.
Yeah, we don't have any money. These vegetables are our livelihood. The vegetables? What are you feeding these kids?
I like
Surely running a full greenhouse is more expensive than going out and buying a meal.
God knows. What bit was I going to say? I think the bit at the end where like the dad comes and finds him and it's like,
yeah, that's genuinely good.
Shook you somewhere special when she came, that's sweet. Those moments.
But
I enjoy the whole film.
But seriously, Jess, you gotta get it to hardware. Again.
I saw the treehouse you guys built. It's not bad.
Yeah.
I saw a hole. Did someone fall? Or...
Yeah. The teacher scene, again, is good, but also, I don't want to be rude to this woman, but when my husband died,
people kept telling me to forget.
I didn't want to forget.
I didn't want to forget.
So those stories, and those stories were great. So I can only
the things
imagine
that girl came up with.
Yeah. So I can only imagine how you feel.
As sad as I am, how much harder it must be for you.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, it is. It's really shit.
It's really awful. Let's stay in single minute then.
I was going to say the bit where he's like on the table and they're all singing the song, but like the sad version.
This was an early thing with me. Someday everything's gonna be easier.
Gonna let go.
And I was like, so in my head, I had a Mandela effect where I always thought it was that Zoe Deschanel had written her own song. I Mandela affected that she was not the music teacher. And so literally she was the English teacher and brought in a guitar and sang, sometimes everybody dies, sometimes your best friend dies. And so
right.
Let's talk about Zoe. What a woman. Why can't we be friends?
I think she's quite good in this.
She's great. Love her.
Does the job.
Whoa.
What?
Just doing some additional. Whoa.
Oh, I see.
That wasn't Leslie falling.
They think she hit her head on a rock.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, there's so many better ways you could have handled that. The rope split and she blasted her head on a rock.
So actually, mate, what do you think happened?
Just say that she drowned. No, just say that she died.
Oh,
Freak.
I like when he squirts the paint into the water. That's quite sad.
Yeah, but also waste of paint, you know?
Also, yeah, must have cost a fortune.
Yeah.
I take it back and get a
Get
cheaper
a
one
cheaper
if you
one.
want. You want that?
Let's,
You want that, poor boy?
yeah, what? Yeah, sure, but can I have the $5 difference?
I
Same
gotta
with
buy some bread.
same with I'm gonna buy more vegetable seeds. Our livelihood is vegetables. But the same with what do you call it? When they get the Scalextrics and the
Oh
grown man
yeah.
can't figure out that you have to slow the cars down going around
He's
corners.
like, no, I just don't think we got the hang of it yet, Dad.
Doesn't work. I'm gonna go
Doesn't
find the
work. Taking it
box.
back.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the box and take it back. How can you be happy with something that doesn't work?
I mean, it doesn't work.
I'm
You got
I
your head
like
in the clouds, Leslie.
I'm happy with mom.
I do think it's like the bit where he walks along and is like repeating what his dad has said.
Oh
He's
yeah.
like, "Draw me some damn money."
There-
We've all
also,
Terabithia.
also
There are moments where like children acting, you know.
oh yeah. I
Go
mean,
on.
the moment when he comes home from painting with the two writers who can just piss about painting all day, and the
The
father,
greatest things in life.
his father and mother are for the I counted
Bend over
fourth
the
time,
accounts book.
yeah, for the fourth time in the space of I would say 40
The
minutes.
generational trauma of the Great Depression.
They are once again doing bills and receipts like I've never seen anybody do in my entire life. And with a calculator. Oh, it looks like
Yeah.
I'm going to have to work 26 hours a day next week. So you're going to have to do your chores.
Go to do some chores.
Actually, the best thing about life is to work on something really worse. What's the line? I know you know it.
What is it? It's is work hard at work doing or
It's
worth
work, yeah,
doing,
work with
something
three. And
like
it's like
that.
I don't, support, abuse of children, but he should have hit him.
That is a little slap.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Is the hardware work worth
You
doing?
didn't have those dodgy neighbours again.
Yeah. Oh, were they painting? Oh, I wrote a chapter today. Do we know what sort of books they
On my
write?
typewriter. It's like fantasy, no?
Mm.
Imagine if it's not. It's like completely unrelated. Raising my child with mental health.
They're not actually her parents, they're her carers.
Gentle drugging of children.
Living with Terabithia.
How to get away with killing your child.
Yeah. Maybe her
He's
real
gone.
name
He's
is.
gone. He's gone on a trip. Now's the time.
Maybe her real name is Tabitha. And
Why?
I don't
Oh,
know.
what? Sounds like Terabithia.
It wasn't my best.
Bridge to Tabitha.
Yeah, Zoe Deschanel's teaching. Okay, let's break this down then. No, okay. Now we can do. This is also, I think the film looks pretty good, but this is the final film of Michael Chapman, who is one of the greatest cinematographers ever, who did the work, who did cinematography for Raging Bull, Taxi Driver,
Yeah.
Primal Fear,
Yeah, and now Bridge to Terabithia.
The Fugitive, Scrooged, The Lost Boys, Hardcore, The Last Waltz. Like, these are some of the great movies of all time.
Yep, and Bridge to Terabithia.
It was his last movie before he died.
What a way to go out.
Has
Your
this
cinematographer is dead. His head on a rock.
Catherine Patterson, has she written any of the books that have been turned into films? She wrote the short story Poor Little Innocent Lamb from a Midnight Clear. Jesus. She got turned into
classic.
It's got turned into a TV movie. with Mary Tyler Moore and Burt Reynolds.
Right.
The life of a physically and emotionally isolated woman brightens considerably when her feisty grandniece visits. Ha. What else we got? They did a TV adaptation of Bridge to Terabithia in '85. Yeah, in 1985.
Gosh.
You need to watch that now, don't you?
I'm just looking it up.
And of course, she also did
Oh no, it looks awful. Carry on.
The Great Gilly Hopkins. 12-year-old wisecracking Gilly Hopkins finds herself shuffled from foster home to foster home until
Yeah.
she meets
That one's about when her son had to go into foster care.
yeah, until she meets a woman called Mame Trotter, Maime Trotter, played by Kathy Bates.
Okay.
Gil concocts a plan that she believes will bring her mother running to her rescue. Glenn Close and Octavia Spencer and Julia Stiles are in this movie.
It's quite a cast.
It's a good cast. What was I going to say? What else can I? Best specific Halloween costume. I've put here the Leslie's I just fell through a charity shop wearing glue look that she's rocking the whole time.
No, I think Janice is the troll.
Do we think that she's good? Anna Sophia Robb.
I think she's fine.
Because Dakota Fanning was originally offered the role of Leslie Burke.
I do like Dakota Fanning.
I think it just takes the roof of this film up a little bit higher.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's valid. I think as well, because Josh is very good.
Yes.
Like,
I think he does. He is good.
yeah. So he could have been a bit more. But she's meant to be like really out there, isn't she? And like, not out there as in like socially. She's meant to be weird.
She is out there socially, I can assure you of that.
No, I meant she's not like talking to everyone. Well, actually, she does.
Yeah. When she waves goodbye to Janice on the bus after she bullies her. Bye. Well, I hear that she's bad to everybody. We might as well have a little fun.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she is odd.
She is a sick woman. I mean, let's be
okay.
Well, no. What does Janice do to her? I'm not saying that bullying's good, but what does Janice do to her? Spray a little ketchup over
her. She throws ketchup on her.
Yeah.
That would disturb me.
What does Leslie do to Janice? Concocts a strategic and complex
plan it is quite,
to emotionally abuse her.
I think you are the coolest girl.
It's the one with bones. What?
Jess is like not helpful at all.
Yeah, okay,
it's all of her name on it.
Yeah, it's the fourth desk in. You know that place where she always sits? It's there.
It's there.
I know they're in a different grade.
Janice should have just been held back many years. Troll Janice would have been held back.
Troll Janice is lovely. We love Troll. Troll Janice saved a young man from breaking his neck and a young mentally ill woman being accused of murder. That's the ending. Leslie, did you push him? That's why they've had to move to a small town, because she killed another little boy. Soundtrack corner. I think actively all the songs in this are awful. The Paint song was truly terrible.
No, I love the music.
What are the songs?
It really fits the vibe. Can try if you just believe.
Oh,
why
God.
Can't we be
We're friends? Why? Yeah, Zoe Deschanel. Hey, girl, what you doing? But why didn't like every single song she chooses in that class is like an early 70s rock song that none of those kids know. And yet they're all
Right.
singing along to the original, I saw you down in Chinatown. What's the
Da,
song
da,
about
da, 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 da.
the slick black Cadillac? What's the other song that she makes them sing? She's she's a great teacher.
That's what she is interested in. So, like, I'm gonna
Well,
make you want to listen to it.
she's also
We know who
interested in
she's
her
interested
student
in.
body. Yeah. Speaking of notes on a scale, uh,
Yes, he speaks.
what if? Oh, I can see it now. Notes on a Scandal remake, but it's Jess, Zoe Deschanel, and Mrs.
The ghost of
Maybury.
Leslie.
Mrs. Maybury is Judy Dench. I mean, there is not much dissimilar from Zoe Deschanel in this and Kate Blanchett as Sheba Hart.
No, it's true. Yeah.
She wears a coat that says "I'm like you," but she's clearly not. Um, oh, I love that Swiss Scandal very much. What do we? Here are a few taglines.
Okay.
You ready for these?
Yep.
The beloved novel comes to life. Sure.
Yeah.
Close your eyes, but keep your mind wide open.
See, no, that is good for this film. That is a good tagline.
That is good, unless in the back of your mind you're thinking that it's Zoe Deschanel saying it in the museum car park.
Made a whole new world.
Jess
You
remembering
want to
his
create
time.
that world with me, Jess?
This is Jess remembering his time at school. Discover a place that will never leave you and a friendship that will change you forever.
See, that is me. I have that relationship with this film. It's in my top 4.
Oof. What was your other one that we didn't do?
So, well, okay, so I like How to Train Your Dragon 2, but it's not in my top 4. Fantastic Mr. Fox in my top 4, but you've already done it.
Yeah. I could see Zoe Deschanel in a Wes Anderson movie. Why hasn't that happened yet?
Yeah, I could.
What else we got here? I didn't see what else these writers did, because Gabar Gusupo didn't do anything. Yeah, David Patterson didn't either. Jeff Stockwell.
I mean, why do more when you've already peaked?
It's true. Jeff Stockwell wrote another Josh Hutcherson movie.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's called Wilder Days, and it seems to be a TV movie with Peter Falk as a wacky uncle. I guess that sounds good.
Yes.
It doesn't. Oh, Peter Falk, and now just loads of Peter Falk movies are coming up. That's no problem. Yeah, I don't think anybody from this career. Let's see what reviews. I enjoyed looking at those reviews. Let's see. 1-star reviews. Here we are. See all user reviews. We used to do this, but it got quite boring. This is not a children's movie. My 5-year-old is still crying. Disney, shame on you. I'm usually so much better about reading reviews before going to a movie, but didn't this time. My daughter had been looking forward to this new fantasy. This is no fairy tale. A child dies in the movie. So unless you're ready to have long discussions with your children, please don't take them to see this. I'd recommend not seeing this, more due to Disney's careless promotion. All this movie is about is middle-aged kids, bullies, religion, and a child's death. Do we really need our
It's
kids?
about religion.
It is about religion, yeah.
God damns you to hell, Leslie. If you're damned to hell if you don't believe in God. I think so. Is that true, Jeff? I think so.
Close to consumer fraud. What's worse than spending an evening at a movie that was completely different than you've been led to expect? And what else we got? When children do crack. Believe
Their
me,
heads on
I
rocks.
wanted to love this movie, but yet found it to be one of the most horrible movies ever.
Oh,
Gabor Kusupo, ease up on the bong and stay the hell away from the giver.
right.
Bridge to Terabithia, bridge to your depression. So a few weeks ago, a friend of mine recommended me an awesome movie. I'd never heard about that movie, nor book. I Am Russian. There is a female character. You will like her, my friend said mysteriously.
What?
Oh,
So
I liked
descriptive.
I liked her all right. Till she died. 13-year-old girl was playing in the forest, fall off a rope and died.
She's not 14. She's meant to be
This is
10.
this is my big thing. I
Yeah.
don't want the big thing I wanted to discuss. This movie doesn't work for me in a lot of ways because of the casting of the children. You need to have, and I know it's a lot harder to get good children this young, but they've got to be 8. They've got to be 9. They've got to be 10. Like I don't know whether it was Disney Studio Notes saying we're not going to kill an 8-year-old or something. I don't know whether it was they're that young in the book.
Yeah.
I don't know
They're meant to
whether
be 10.
right. I don't have any concept of what a 10-year-old looks or is like, but they need to be
No.
younger than.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that these kids were 14,
Mm.
15 when they shot this.
I don't know. Let's see.
They feel too old to be doing this sort of fantasy playing around.
Sure.
And that's, I think, where,
Yeah, I mean, he was 14 when he was in it.
yeah,
So,
it it's
yeah,
it,
no, I get that.
and that's kind of where I think the movie struggles. Just on a a realism point of view, if you mind the ridiculousness of saying realism. But yeah, for the most
Sure.
part, they are just too young. Sorry, too old for that matter.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
what's the change? Before I start berating you, do you have any?
So, like, what would I change?
Mm,
Yeah, I think I would change. Um, I'd make it a bit clearer how much time has passed between certain things because it is unclear. Like, she dies, and
mhm.
the next day, allegedly, um, no, not to previous
Pride
podcast.
and Prejudice.
She's like, the next day, the mum's like, we thought we'd go over to the Burks today to pay our respects. The next day, like,
It's the next
it
day,
is seemingly the next day, and they're hosting like
some
a
sort of
wake.
gathering. Yeah, it's not a
Yeah.
funeral. Maybe it's Shiva, but they're not a Jewish family.
No, I mean, Rian said it's because they're not like religious, so that maybe that's just what they do.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think they do it the next day, and it seems
No,
like it's the next day.
it seems like it's the next day. You need a sad montage. You need the someday I wake up if things are gonna get easier. You
That
need
needs to
that.
happen first. Yeah, I changed the order of some of those
You
scenes.
need him looking over.
Although, why has he gone back to school straight away? Your
He's
friend
got to,
Leslie is dead. But tomorrow's a Monday.
yeah, you got that race.
Got that
Um,
big race.
I
Yeah.
got
So
you
I'd make
some
that a bit clearer.
shoes. Um, I've realized, and this is a personal thing, I don't like fantasy.
Yeah, see, I love fantasy.
It does nothing
Love
for me. I
fantasy.
find it very
Do you
annoying.
like Lord of the Rings?
No,
I love Lord of the Rings.
I know. It's my one sort of opinion that is like actively, I think, not even bad, but like I just don't do it. Fantasy does nothing for me.
As
Um, so yeah, I find The opening credit animations suck.
No, I like the opening credits animations. I do dislike the end animation of the Terabithians. That's bad because also we've never seen them before.
And Big
And
Janice.
suddenly there's like the don't hate Big Janice.
Hi.
Hi. But yeah, they're like random popping up of these Terabithians is a bit.
And they're all and there's so many this time. It used to just be
Yeah.
a few squirrels that they
Few
were
people that like
pretending.
they knew from school, and now she's dead,
Yeah.
and he's gone full on.
It's cracked. If you download an essay, you'll be downloaded into detention.
Like that's funny.
Josh staring at Zoe instead of singing. This is, that's where she got it from. Leslie's story being about underwater is a little bit on the nose.
Oh, these are your changes, yeah.
Yeah, oh, big time. Can Zoe not keep her box of instruments in the school? This poor woman has to carry all
I don't
that
think she has a
shit.
classroom.
So she's like one of these people that just comes once a week.
That goes, like, yeah, goes into all the different years.
Yeah, probably because she's not allowed.
And she comes out, she's like, "Are you glad to be back? I am."
So there you go. So she's not some sort of traveling teacher.
No, I think she does come in. She doesn't have a classroom.
Are you glad to be? She doesn't teach there.
She's
Oh
like
my God,
the
she doesn't
strange
teach. She
season.
doesn't teach there.
What did she say?
I said she doesn't teach there.
Oh, like she just pops in.
Yeah.
She isn't real.
Why does
Just
Leslie,
made her up.
when Jess is forced to walk home, why does Leslie not walk home with him?
Yeah, no, that is me.
That is, and then she sits there. I thought I'd just sit and wait for you.
Can we go to a special place?
Yeah. I just don't think that there is enough of a gradual lead into them going insane. Like, and then
They don't go insane.
must be a grenade. The
He's
Scroger.
going along with it. I feel like if they were 10, you wouldn't feel like
Yeah.
it.
No, I wouldn't.
Maybe it
They're
does just come down to that.
Too old. Vegetables are a part of their livelihood. I've already made fun of this. The running scene is awful, and I'm not talking about like when they actually speed up and start flying and shit, but like beforehand.
I know, yeah, when it's like sped up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's bizarre.
we rule Terabithia.
This is a very specific one. Why does he look at her as if he knows she's gonna die?
He doesn't. He looks at her like, oh, maybe I'm in love with her and not my English teacher. I mean, my music teacher. And then she turns up.
Maybe that's the plot. That should have been the plot of the film.
What? He falls in love with Leslie.
Yeah, and then
Well, I
Zoe
think that's what they're hinting at.
No. Zoe Deschanel gets jealous and
Oh, she killed Leslie.
Maybe killed
she did.
Leslie.
We
Maybe
don't
she
know
did.
that didn't happen.
So she kills. Does the
And she's like, forget something? I hope not, because I already killed her.
Yeah. And then does the timeline work out? All we see, obviously, she doesn't have a sister or nephews. We know this to be the truth. She made those up. So she kills Leslie, and then
Then she rings. Like, Mum, to come on the trip.
yeah.
So that you don't see her body.
All we see
Maybe
is
she's
her in the car.
calling him.
Yeah.
Like, post murder. Leslie's dead in the water. And she's like, I thought you wanted to go on a trip.
Perfect alibi.
Yeah.
Perfect alibi for the perfect alibi for the crime
not
of
a perfect
murder.
alibi for the crime of pedophilia.
Yeah. I'll let you know I wasn't anywhere near Leslie's body. I was taking a 10-year-old to the museum alone. Joke's on you, detective.
Wouldn't work out.
I've got here the date with Zoe Deschanel on a Saturday on her Saturday with their nephews, calling the house, which I know enjoy. I've put here why I think, and I know that this probably isn't the film for it. I know the father's nice, but I don't know whether or not Leslie's mother does a whole Deborah Winger and Rachel getting married, you weren't supposed to kill him, and snaps. And just launches at him. Yeah. Have you seen Rachel Getting Married? It's very, very good film. Very, very, very good film. And Anne Hathaway is a drug addict
Oh, I
who
do like
is
Anne Hathaway.
she's great in it. And the child in the family died. I believe it's the little son, because she left him with and then the car accident. Anyway, and then Anne Hathaway's like, why did you leave? Why did you leave him with me? Because I didn't expect you to kill him. And the whole time she's been so plateaued and like, mellow. What a
Okay.
wonderful film. Could we not get a moment of his dad helping him make the bridge? Because that bridge is not safe. Also, how did he make the entire bridge?
Which is incredible.
Exactly. It needs to be helped.
Structurally.
Yeah. Also, as a parent, not going to let my kids down there by the dead girl lake to keep playing.
It's all right. I've built a bridge now, so I'm going
Yeah.
to take Mabel.
Who built a bridge? Who built the bridge?
You what?
I
I
did.
took the lumber out of the neighbour's yard.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Yes. Is everything all right, Jess? Do you want some parting words of wisdom, or did you make a little painting? Did you do a little drawing of Leslie that you want to give me as a gift? No. Can I borrow your?
No.
Can
I
I
threw
borrow
that
your
in the
wood?
water. I need to take the wood and that picture. No, sent that down the lake. That's gone downstream.
You should have set it on fire. What if?
They've been struck by lightning.
What if it just stops and he's like, and then he goes over.
Zooey Deschanel's car keys.
Zooey Deschanel's car keys are in there. No, a flute. She struck her over the head with a flute. She didn't hit her head on a rock.
They think she hit her head. But on what?
Yeah. It's probably a rock, some sort of heavy instrument. And then he goes, instrument. Tom's big question. Why does Leslie run off the first? Oh, yeah. When they first hop over, why does she just immediately belt a run away? Like, give the guy a chance.
She's rubbing it in that she's faster than him.
Leslie comes up with a full mythology very quickly, which leads me to believe that Jess is not the first boy that Leslie has brought to Terabithia.
No, see, I was like Leslie when I was younger. And it's a lure voice. No, like I would do things like that. Like I would just make up words.
Yeah, I did.
Creative.
I did too, I guess.
So I didn't normally share them with other people quite so like extensively.
Which leads me on to my next question. What if Leslie is actually very ill? Because she seems very convinced about the wind. It's just some wind. No, it's not.
Can't hear you.
Yeah. Again, when people re-edit these into horror movies, I can't hear you.
Hear you.
What happens to that dog? I know that like
Dad takes him.
No, I know, but I just mean when she brings him home originally. That's how you tell that they're an awful family. I brought a dog home. Great. Yeah. Where did you get the dog? How would you want to feed the dog?
Oh, that little poor boy got it for you.
Yeah.
Probably has fleas.
Rabies.
Where did he get it from? It was free in a box.
Again, Zoe left it there to try and get him on side.
This whole thing. Zoe actually had a wind machine that she played when the wind flew type thing.
It would have been so much easier, Jess. But she got in the way. I had to deal with her. She's slipping LSD into her breakfast. Mrs. Zoe Deschanel's on lunch duty again. She's helping out with the meals. Here you are. Here you are, Leslie. I made your soup special. The
He
movie
actually
does.
spotted Leslie on the first day.
Yeah.
Like, he's gonna fancy her.
Yeah.
Bubbles.
And it does have the exact same ending as Titanic, where they all go to heaven
Does it?
or whatever. Well, kind of. Um,
It's not as bad as the ending of the Iron Claw, where they actually go to heaven.
hey, sir.
I really enjoyed the Iron Claw. Don't get me
Good.
wrong. Why are they in heaven at the end?
That ending was beautiful. Hey, guy. Hey, little guy.
I really like the rest of it.
So you preferred this to the Iron Claw?
Yeah, this is my top 4.
Okay, we can talk about that another time.
Talk about that off camera.
Yeah, the Iron Claw.
Do you like children's films though?
Do I like children's films? I love Beauty and the Beast. I love Monsters Inc. I love Annie.
Yeah.
I love children's movies I like. Would you class Edward Scissorhands? No, you wouldn't. I'm trying to think of the movies I loved as a child. So I got into I think I got into sort of adult children's movies very quickly. So so like Edward Scissorhands, I used to watch all the time, and like Beetlejuice, which I guess you could say are adult movies with a children's sensibility. So I kind of skipped actual children's movies fairly quickly. Small Soldiers was one that I watched as an actual child. But yeah, no, I certainly don't enjoy children's movies now. I love the Muppets, but again, that's quite adult.
Yeah. Muppets are good.
The Muppets are great.
Christmas Carol is so good.
Muppets Christmas Carol is the one Muppet movie I'm just not in on. And I know that's I know.
That's Muppets blasphemy.
I love the Muppets. I'm gonna sit around by myself and wait for you. Haven't you heard? One is a new two.
It's quite good.
Thank you. I love
okay, it's enough.
The Muppets Take Manhattan. I love a lot of movies. But yeah, what will I show my child? Oh, now I'm gonna get upset.
Edward Scissorhands.
Well, yeah, I watched like Jaws young. I just jumped the gun, I think, on children's movies.
Fair enough.
What about you? Do you watch children's movies now that you didn't watch as a child? That's the question. Okay. Like
I like whatever Disney bring out, like Inside Out 2. I don't think it was very good, but like I don't think I'd have thought it was that good as a child. So
because that's and I watch everything, but I won't watch kids' movies. Again, 24-year-old man going alone to the cinema in the middle of the day. Probably best not to watch children's movies.
And that's society's problem, not yours.
True. No, very, very good. Do you have any notes left or changes or anything about Bridge to Terabithia?
No. Do you not have your big question?
I kind of blended them into what's the change.
Into less.
What happens to that dog?
Everything.
Why does Leslie run off? Did Janice kill Leslie? Enough. Which I've answered because we now believe...
Janice. Oh, the troll Janice. I thought for a minute you'd gotten confused with Primal Fear again. No, Janet didn't kill Leslie.
Hi. Yeah, no,
no,
but now we know, of course, that it wasn't Janice, it was Zoe Deschanel playing, what's her name, Miss
Edwards. Not Mrs. That would be a whole nother layer to this. She's married.
You took a child. This is our life. She's having an affair with Robert Patrick. He's gonna salt burn the house. Oh.
Oh dear.
I thought it was, yes, no, I think it's a good movie that I will not watch again for
Well,
when will I
I'll
have
probably
children?
watch it again this year.
Really?
Yeah. I watched it twice in the last year. Like, felt like, yeah.
I understand comfort. I understand comfort. You know, I'm not,
I'm a big comfort film person.
yeah, I'm not a robot. You know, I understand the joys of watching some.
The concept of joy, I understand.
The difference is that my comfort movie is Notes on a Scandal.
Oh no, that is a good film. I have many comfort movies.
Mm.
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 They're not all kids' films.
No. No. Well, Asa, that was wonderful. And what a wonderful three picks.
Thank you.
They did slowly diminish in quality.
Do you think we started with the best?
We did start with the best,
Yeah.
undoubtedly.
I would agree. Primal Fear is my favorite film.
Yeah,
So.
you did a hit and run on the Iron Claw, which wasn't necessary.
I like the Iron Claw.
We did a full breakdown of the possible pedophilia subplot of British Terabithia.
Yeah, which I don't feel has been talked about enough on the internet.
No, nobody's ever like, you know, hey, rewatch Bridge to Terabithia. I mean, oh my God, you know. Just like that. Just like that. Yeah, just like that. Very, very good. Okay. Well, bye-bye, Asa.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Dabba 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 da da ba 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 ba